Okay, so we're now going to do exactly as we did before with our moon layer, but this time we're going to create a layer for a different set of objects. So again, come over to your layers palette and then click on create new layer. We're going to name this one tree, or leaves actually. Let's call it leaves. So you can now imagine what we're going to do with this. We're going to paint some leaves into it. So if we come over to our toolbox and choose the paintbrush or the brush tool. If we hover over our image, you can see that we've got a circle, and that's not very useful for what we're trying to do. So what we can do now is we can come over to our we can come up to the options palette, which is this one running along the top. Then we can click on the brush drop down icon. We should be able to have a look, and as you scroll down our brushes, you'll see that we've got a leaf brush. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to choose a kind of leafy sort of colour. Let's go the really, really dark sort of green. So if you didn't see what I did there, I've come over to the foreground colour, I've clicked on it and brought up the colour picker tool, and I've just moved the hue slider down and chosen the colour. So now we're working on a separate layer, and it's always useful to do this. So make sure that you've got your leaves layer selected. You can see it selected by the blue background, and then try sort of painting in some leaves. Okay, that's quite good for a first attempt, but we can actually do some really interesting stuff with the brushes. So let's go to Window, open up the brushes palette. You'll see we've got this brushes palette open. Okay, so you'll also see we've got down here all these options that we can mess around with. One thing I want to show you is the colour dynamics. So if we do brightness jitter and saturation jitter, what will happen is as we paint, we'll get different colours based on our foreground colour selection. So you can see all of a sudden what was becoming quite a horrible flat mess, we can actually start to get some sort of depth coming on to our image. Now we're going to create a new layer, but we're going to use this to put some stars into our image. So again, come down to the layers palette and then choose create new layer, double click on it and call it stars. Let's move this up out of the way, increase the size of it so you can see what we're going to do. Again, go to the you can either go to brush presets, have a scroll down. Let's have a look. Okay, let's go with this one, star 55. So you can see at the moment it's got a strange looking icon. That's because we need to set up our brush's behavior. So if we come up to scattering, select this, and turn down our count. It's still quite busy, so that means we actually need to do something else, and it's actually in the brush tip shape. So this spacing, as we increase this, it waits until we've got further away from our previous imprint of our brush before it paints another one. So by going, let's go to 100%. Okay, that'll do. Let's minimize our brushes palette, and let's choose a nice starry kind of colour, kind of almost white. Yeah, okay. And again, just kind of randomly paint some stuff in. Right, so you see that we have a problem. We've created our stars layer, and our stars layer is currently up at the top. So anything we paint, our stars are going to show above any other object. And this isn't the right layout. So you can see that we've got some things showing through over the top of our moon, and that shouldn't actually be possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our stars layer, we're going to drag it down so it's only the second layer. And that is our night scene complete.